Welcome back to Blood and Gold Caribbean. I'm 10 Bulls to Mars. Last time we made it to South America, we put a little bit of money in the bank. I'm going to withdraw some of that money now, just in case it helps us buy a ship. There should be affordable ships, but their availability in every town is a little bit random. So my plan right now is to see if there's any easy targets while we walk along South America, city by city, looking for a cheap ship to take us to Santo Domingo. And hopefully get more than the 6 guys I have available. Start winning some battles, building up some renown, not having to be scared of these guys. Past Salt Works, where I was a slave as recently as last episode. And Cumana is the first stop. No ships available. Check the message board just in case. I can hire mercenaries. How about that? I can hire 27 harquebus, which is colonial harquebus. Sounds like mounted muskets, but it's actually on foot. Irregular cavalry is sword cavalry. That's not bad. Similar amounts. Costs about the same. I don't have a horse myself. I like the idea of the harquebus right now. But I have more money. It's possible I can do both. And then there would be a change of plans here. Because then I could totally take on some of those outlaws. So let's grab all but a couple hundred. I'm not sure what my troop wages are going to be, but I'd rather avoid the morale hit if I can. Check that message board again. There we go. I can get up to 14 of these guys with the cash I have left. I like it. I have 48 guys. That's what my high leadership gets me. What is my party limit right now? It's at 48, so I actually did not run out of cash. I still have 650 on hand. Weekly cost is 267, so let's put a little bit back in the bank. These towns all have pretty much the same map, but I will say it's a nice view out of this town hall. Just Caribbean islands, barely developed at all. Apart from the dysentery, really a great time to be alive. So let's give you enough for these troops, a little bit of buffer. I shouldn't need to spend my money on anything, really. I should be taking loot and selling stuff. And I have some food. I guess I took that with me when I escaped the plantation. 6 prisoners, they will load into battle first. And the harquebus, you can see, is on foot, and the cavalry is mounted. No ships available, although I did see a party that I can take if they don't have boats. You get the status update. They're running from me right now. You also have a party speed. I'm not sure what mine is right now. It looked like 10 something for the brief flash that I could see. They're gone now. But that is an example of what I mean, that I can take some of these guys now. We'll keep wandering around looking for opportunities like that. What are these guys? 41 of them. So the thing is, my troops are pretty weak. Oh well, it's a challenge. They seem to be running from me. There we go. Caution of the wind. I do need to change my flag. Start with this griffin or lion, I guess. I can shoot this guy and take his horse, but I lose some party morale for it. Let's get cavalry over here, muskets. You can't see on the battle map whether there's a hill, but once they arrive, you can adjust them from there. Not quite as intuitive and useful as the system from Viking Conquest, which is another well-known Warband mod. But something about this game. I like the early musket warfare part of it, for sure. These guys need to move forward if they're going to be useful. You need to be more accessible. You need to be here. The enemy will react to my troop positioning to try to not get outflanked. I need you guys more forward. Line of sight matters as much as you might assume. Them being muskets, if they get crept up on, it's not going to go well. So they're on fire at will. I will tell my infantry and cavalry to charge at this point, and then I'll run in with them before I get lanced and don't accomplish anything. I do have a sword. There we go. I forget how fast these guys are. It's because he's holding a knife. So he can't block, but he can get in attacks a lot faster than me. Wow, that's annoying. Seriously, a perfect block doesn't stumble him enough for me to get attacking, so I kind of have to wait for my friend to come here and help me out. My attack speed will improve, though, so that won't be bad forever. Oh. That attack speed, man. There you go. Been paying no attention to the battle, so at this point, tell my muskets to charge too. One thing, they may be running out of ammo. 5F3, that's what I've been hitting with my fat fingers. Yeah, so my muskets may be running out of ammo, and either way, they're not necessarily useful standing where they are. I'd rather not get knocked out. You know, you don't die, you get knocked out, but it takes you longer to recover from being knocked out than wounded, and it's not nice. You can't do some battles. You just don't have as much personal opportunity to participate. There's 7 of them left, and I'm fighting one of them here. I have 12 guys now versus 6. I see one of them running here. You'd think cavalry would be good at mopping these guys up. But they're not really, because... Oh, I'm down. When the cavalry misses its target, they go sailing off. It takes them a while to turn around and come back. The horses are a little clunky in that way. So I cannot move my camera, but fortunately the battle map is working. So I can watch this happen. You see my cavalry, the fast-moving dots, just sailing past those 2 guys and accomplishing nothing. But it'll happen eventually. Harquebus, one of the foot musket guys, got him. And it looks like the cavalry's going to take this guy out, but we'll see. More than enough time for the Harquebus to get there and do it for them. But despite being personally wounded, I got some XP myself. It's a victory. We'll get some loot. 15 of my Harquebus were killed. I really wish that hadn't happened, because those guys are expensive. But I can always grind more suspicious man missions. And 5 of my cavalry. So when you have these low-level troops, it really is a meat grinder for them.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
On the other hand, we killed 41 of our enemy. The guys who survived, a lot of them will be good for upgrading, and then this stuff I can sell or upgrade if it's better. And it is better. So I'm going to be shirtless for a little while until I find some better armor, including this has no armor value. So at least I don't have to wear that. Got a cracked spear. Sandals that are even worse than my sandals. I'll take the knife. That was a fast knife. I'm glad to take that off that guy. Speed rating 110 versus my sword with 95. You can see how much of a difference that made, because I got some good blocks in there, and that guy still stabbed me up. Stabbed me up good. I'm level 2. Some of my soldiers are ready to upgrade. So the Harquebus are going to become proper muskets. All of them. That's pretty nice. And the regular cavalry, 4 of them are ready to become dragoons. Not bad. Dragoons fight with both guns and swords, but they're not as good as the specialized mounted gun troops, but I generally don't use mounted guns. this era of warfare. They're just not particularly useful. The guns aren't good enough. So that's great. As for myself, in my nice new armor, we already got strength at 12. Charisma is a couple points away from being able to get me another point in leadership. Besides, I want to put these elsewhere. I did talk about doing movement speed over land. Now, that is a party skill, meaning I can have one of my retainers do it later, once I actually have retainers. But for now, I usually put a point or two into it early game because it's just too long to wait to get outrun by slightly bigger or similarly sized parties. It's not worth it. Just waffling between intelligence and charisma here. I want to get them both to 9, but I think these guys can stay where they are while I get charisma up to 9. Even if I don't put that point in leadership next turn. Because you don't need the biggest party size. You have to pay for your party, and a smaller party moves faster. So it just needs to be sufficient to help you advance in the game. Let's go for firearms, because all my practice has been with one-handed, even though I don't actually have a gun on me right now. That's alright, I will get one. You see that after battle we get a fair amount of loot. I think next turn, instead of leadership, I'll put a point into looting. And the goal now is to not load up a cove. One of those problems with this game. Gather the landing party. We're doing what would have happened if I hadn't been magnetically sucked into that place. Maracaibo, almost forgot. Looking everywhere for ships. Everywhere. And now a place to sell my loot. It's probably worth a couple hundred. My old shirt. 88, man. Barely worth the trip. Let's see about a boat. Let's see about replacing some men. No ships. No men. That's alright. No ships. Keep building renown. See, these guys are 12. Not worth a lot of renown, but on the other hand, I was going to say I can take them. I didn't realize how high my casualties were. This will be a more even battle than I anticipated. It's not so bad. It's not just me and 6 prisoners anymore. Looks like 4 muskets, 4 horsemen. What are these? Oh, some of them upgraded to dragoons. That's nice. So these are all missile cavalry. No. The ones on the right are sword cavalry. Those are musket cavalry. Of course, I had that backwards. That's fine. So we will move these musket cavalry up, but we can't really micro that successfully. The horses won't follow your commands and get out of there in time. And these guys will very intelligently move toward vulnerable targets. So I call that somewhat realistic. If you put aside, the instant information updates, the fact that the enemy commander can kind of see through hills, it's very hard to implement that in a game. You see some of the later Total War games do a good job of simulating the enemy commander not really knowing what's going on. So at this point, cavalry is far enough away to charge without killing themselves. The harquebus is going to go in too. The muskets are going to stay where they are. I have no infantry. And I'm actually too weak to charge myself. I don't want to just get shot and not be able to see what's going on. But now we'll move the muskets in so that they don't get too far behind. And then, as long as they have bullets, they'll still pick shots. Charging for them is moving within range and picking shots until they run out of ammo. So that's good. I'm going to try to stick near my horses and not have to take all 12 of these guys by myself, because that would not go well. See, I'm taking on 3 of them by myself. I'm already doing what I said. I have learned not to let these guys approach me and start stabbing, because blocking is not going to do it against one of those fast little knives. Good. They're running toward my muskets, but not effectively. Oh, yep. Saw that coming. That guy had a pike. Backing away was the knife strategy, not the pike strategy. So my muskets have charged in, and they're fine with bayonets. I mean, against European spearmen, not so much. Against tribal spearmen, the bayonets will hold their own. And then you see they'll take shots, they'll stab with bayonets. I like the way they handle the muskets in this game. One of the reasons I like this game so much, the personal battlefield command of Warband mixed with muskets, is a lot of fun because it makes use of holding positions on hills, things like that when you get larger armies. I'll go ahead and put a cut in here because you don't want to watch this guy just snipe for another 5 minutes or so. Could still lose. I'll let you see. I'll bring you in right as the battle ends and you'll see the results. With the battle map working, it seems to me a time lapse was the better way to do that. We lost one of our dragoons and a couple of muskets. I got wounded. I'd say that was pretty good. Now remember, I actually had more than 12 troops. This is good. I now have a prisoner who's not my soldier, but actually my prisoner. Look at this. The loincloth I can handle, but the shirt loincloth combo, that's inappropriate, man. That's going to get me demonetized. I'm going to sell that. 5-1, 10. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. Get my 10 body armor out of my shirt loincloth combo. Get back to Santa Marta just to sell this. I want to have a prisoner. So you can't go straight to the plantation. And you actually get more money selling them there. The downside, slave trader's not here. So the downside to going to the plantation is there's a few different plantation maps. And you have to track down the buyer at the plantation. And I've spent a silly amount of time doing that before. So I usually just hold them. Hold them until one of these towns does have a slave trader. Gonna try Cartagena over here. Cartagena? Cartagena? I'm an American, it's not my job. No ships. That's what I get for butchering your city name. It's true. 7 out of 19 plus a prisoner. That's what I'm talking about. I have 20 guys, but 12 of them are out of commission. That is 60 men in a tribal army right there. So, a little different than just taking on a hunting party. The random ship availability updates every day, so I don't need to keep going up past Panama to New Orleans. I can wait for that lag spike. It'll tell me in the lower left corner in about 10 seconds. The prices have been updated for the day. Colonial exchanges are accessing the price of goods. And then we go back to this city I can't pronounce. And I have ranked up, right? Or it should be easier to find ships. No ships. More men. I've got no money, but there's a bit of money in the bank. I'm not avoiding the suspicious man missions, but I know I have 7 grand waiting for me in Santo Domingo, so I'm not in a hurry. Yeah, I'm kind of in a hurry now. So I am going to do one of those missions and then continue my search for ships. And this prisoner will be worth, I think, either 200 or 300. Sniper mission, okay. Not only can I do this one, but it's a whole lot faster than some of the others. Less money, of course, but you know, you don't have to sit there on a 7-minute clock. And it doesn't matter that I'm coming at it with low HP. Nice. It's good all around. You get firearms proficiency, you get XP for your character, and you get cash. What do you want? Well, you know me. You owe me money. I'm going to leave now. So I've had times I've been doing 2 or 3 of those in a row. Not a good idea. You get a game crash after racking up 2 of those missions. Whole lot of money and time down the drain. Especially with this excellent commentary I'm doing. And I don't really need to do another. I got money now. Get some Colonial Guards, which is an upgrade from Harkbus, I'm pretty sure. They certainly cost more. I get 30 of them? Sweet. Let's see if I have anything to put back with the bank to make sure they can get paid at the end of the week. And if I don't, do another mission for that guy in the tavern. Always seems to have work available. No matter how small these islands are, now we're good. We're good, and I still got some corned beef to feed these guys on the road, and now I can afford all their wages. Tribal War Party of 31 against 40 for me. Potential to capture some more prisoners, get some loot. I think you know what we're doing now. I might have been unfair with the 50% on this battle map, but I'll tell you, it is frustrating when it doesn't load, and it's, you know, essentially the primary way that this game controls troop movement. Playing Viking Conquest, you hold down F1 and a flag comes up in front of you. And you can look on the battlefield, it'll be a consistent angle in front of you, and then a distance based on the elevation you're looking, and it's really quite fun to use, to be able to place your archers on a specific hill front, not just an area, but close, you know? I do not want to retreat, no. I just hit tab for no reason. So this bridgehead isn't much of a bridgehead. You can charge right through the ditch there. There's another map with a proper bridgehead, and the AI often still charges through the ditch, but then they get stuck doing it. Here, nowhere is safe. You can't just keep your muskets on the side of the bridge and expect them to be safe. So muskets are set up, same as last time. I'm going to tell the cavalry and the harquebus to charge, and I'm going to go in myself even though one shot and I'm going to be down. You know what? I want the XP. I want to help. And I'm down. How embarrassing. Alright, we got the numbers for this. And it's times like this I get to see, I keep forgetting that Griffin flag. I am 10 bulls to Mars. And there's a bull flag. Out of 5 or 6 flags in this game, one of them is a bull. So what's wrong with me not going for that? I'll show you this. I will get all of my men to charge because that'll send the muskets in now. The muskets grouped up. They're having a bit of trouble with those spearmen. But we should be okay. And money's money, you know, you can choose to grind for money in this game. You can just turn your real life minutes into money with the suspicious man, and then when you get some more resources like ships with a few other things as well. So I like using my troops because they get experience the same way that I do, which is personal kills. And then after this battle, I'll have lost a bunch of them, but the ones I have left will be ready to upgrade. And my 12 troops versus 12 other troops will be a much better proposition at that point. I love fighting with elite troops in this game. They make it matter so much more than it does in other games, like Paradox or Creative Assembly. Right, a lot of wounded, which is good because I don't need to re-recruit them. I just need to wait a little while. This is +3. I still got +10 with my inappropriate shirt. The sandals match a bow. I think I need a quiver of arrows separately for that. I don't think I just have armor for that, so I'll sell it. And to be honest, I'll probably not use the knife, so I might as well get a few coins out of that too. Some soldiers ready to upgrade, that's nice. These militia muskets to regular musket, just one of them. And now a colonial guard. Now pikemen are better on land, marines are better for shipboarding actions, and I won't be doing that for a little while. I don't think. And either way, pikemen aren't so bad on ships either. Marines are terrible on land. So if you have to choose, I try to go with pikemen. I never seem to have enough pikemen, in part because I love muskets too much. I'm going to call it an episode here. Tons of progress has been made. Money and troop quality and everything is on the rise, and I should get a ship next episode, is my hope. Not so bad for an escaped convict. I am 10 Bulls to Mars. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.